New York is losing thousands of residents every single year. LA is literally closing dozens of schools. Chicago is watching corporate headquarters pack up and leave. Then there's North Fort Worth. We're doing the exact opposite. We've added more than 170,000 people to the area in a single year. We're opening new schools. Companies are moving their headquarters here. It's a completely different story. Today, I'm breaking down the 8 ways North Fort Worth and the surrounding Tarrant and Denton County areas do the exact opposite of every single major metro. Stay with me because the way this area is growing is actually going to change how you think about your forever home. Let's start with the big one, which is population. As you know, while cities like New York, LA, Chicago, and San Francisco are all watching people pack up and leave, Fort Worth is adding residents at a pretty crazy rate. The Dallas-Fort Worth Metro added more than 177,000 residents between 2023 and 2024. That made us the 3rd fastest growing metro in America. We're over 8.3 million people, and projections say that we could even pass LA by 2060, hitting a population over 12.5 million. We're already projected to overtake Chicago by 2030. If you compare that to what's happening everywhere else, New York City lost nearly 546,000 residents. Chicago, Los Angeles, and San Francisco were all among the top 5 metros with the largest population losses. Here's why this actually matters to you. When the population grows, you get a lot more demand. You get economic stability. You get a job market that's actually working. When people are leaving a city, that tells you that something is broken. But when they're flooding in like they are here, specifically into spots like Keller, Trophy Club, and the Alliance Corridor, then that tells you opportunity is here. By the way, if you're new, my name is Sean. I run the Living in Fort Worth team. We've been a top relocation team here since 2001. We've helped thousands of clients move here from all over the world. And if you're thinking about making a move and you want real guidance to know what it's like to actually live here, just reach out. All my information is below in the description or on the screen. North Fort Worth is becoming a magnet for families, young professionals, and retirees looking for a better life. You feel that impact even more. You feel that even more when you look at what's happening with jobs. The unemployment picture is where this area really starts to break away from the national trend. How many big cities can lose major headquarters and somehow end up with more jobs than what they started with? North Fort Worth and its neighbors are adding corporate headquarters every single year. It's not even close. You got places like California and Illinois where companies are leaving every single week. This area has basically turned into the headquarters capital of America. I'm not talking about small offices. Full-blown headquarters are moving right here. You think about Toyota, Goldman Sachs, Charles Schwab, McKesson, CBRE, they've all planted their flag here. Schwab is right here in Westlake. Toyota is just a quick jump over the highway. Even KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, is moving their U.S. headquarters to the area. Every month we hear about 2 or 3 major corporations making the move. Texas is home to around 52 to 54 Fortune 500 companies. Compare that to California at 57 or New York at 52. Texas even held the top spot recently. When a company like Charles Schwab moves thousands of employees here to the Westlake, Southlake border, it's not just a building. It means you need more homes, more schools, more restaurants. Entire communities like the ones in the Alliance Corridor start filling up overnight. None of that really matters if people can't afford to live here. That's where North Fort Worth does something completely opposite from every other major city. Let's talk about buildability. You think about San Francisco trying to squeeze in one more condo or tiny scrap of land, then you have North Fort Worth and the Alliance area sitting on thousands of acres that are ready to build. It's a completely different game. Big coastal cities are boxed in. They can't expand or build fast enough. And that's why prices explode. We don't really have that problem in North Texas. We have room to grow, and builders here actually use that room. Fort Worth is one of the top cities in the nation for new home construction. You start to see neighborhoods, new communities, and entire areas like North Star, Pecan Square popping up all the time because we're able to keep building. It keeps prices down, they don't skyrocket the way they do in landlocked cities. The median home price in our area is around $435,000, which is pretty close to the national average. Look at Manhattan, where prices average 1.2 million, or San Francisco at 1.5 million. You can see why people are moving here in huge numbers. The ability to keep building gives buyers options. You're not fighting 50 people for the same house. You can find something that fits your style, your budget, and your timeline. Having homes people can afford only matters if people want to live there. This is where the North Fort Worth suburbs do something that almost no other metro can match. You don't really hear much about this. It goes against everything you would expect from a city growing this fast. Most people assume that more people moving means things start to decline. That's what happens in most other major metros. The best neighborhoods get worse as the city expands. Not here. In North Fort Worth, they're actually getting better. If you look at communities like Keller, Southlake, Trophy Club, and Roanoke, they're not just holding steady, they're actually improving. New amenities, new development, and new facilities are appearing while they maintain the quality that attracted families in the first place. Growth isn't hurting these areas, it's making them stronger. You're seeing safe, clean, and family-friendly communities. Frisco, Plano, and McKinney get a lot of love, but Keller and Flower Mound are consistently named among the safest and best places to live. The suburbs here are thriving. They invest in themselves with new parks, better infrastructure, and upgraded facilities. This investment in community infrastructure ties directly to the physical systems that cities run on. This is why the difference between North Fort Worth and legacy cities like Chicago or Philly becomes impossible to ignore. Texas is putting about $148 billion into transportation right now. The biggest difference is we're not fixing systems from the 1940s, we're building brand new ones. Most major cities are patching century-old water lines or repairing aging transit systems designed for a different era. Dallas-Fort Worth is building everything new. You see it all over. Highways are being rebuilt, widened, and rerouted. You look at I-35, that expansion or the upgrades to Highway 114, you've got the Dart Silver Line and the expansion of the Texas Rail connecting our suburbs directly to the DFW airport. We're not trying to patch up the past. We're building the future. Residents benefit from modern, efficient, and reliable services. This avoids the costly and disruptive challenges of repairing century-old systems that plague the East Coast. If you've got kids, this is probably the most important part. Los Angeles just closed 56 schools because enrollment dropped so much. In North Fort Worth, in the suburbs, they're opening new ones because families keep moving in and they can't keep up with the demand. In the big cities, school enrollment is falling fast. Campuses are sitting half empty. LA, New York, Chicago are facing massive declines. North Fort Worth doing the exact opposite. Districts like Keller ISD, Northwest ISD, and Carroll ISD are consistently ranked among the best in the state and the nation. Northwest ISD, which covers a huge part of the Alliance Corridor, is opening new elementary and middle schools practically every year just to keep up with the rooftops. Everywhere you look in our suburbs, enrollment is growing and the districts are building to keep up. Falling enrollment in other cities means less funding and fewer programs. Our suburbs flip that cycle. Families show up, enrollment rises, schools improve, and more families follow. It's a huge reason people keep choosing Trophy Club and Southlake. All the growth in the world doesn't mean much if you can't keep the money you earn. This is where taxes make another massive difference. My favorite number when it comes to taxes is 0. That's how much you pay in state income tax here in Texas. You've got roughly 5% in Illinois, nearly 11% in New York, and over 13% in California. Here in Texas, 0. That alone is a huge difference for almost anyone moving from the coast. Here, it's 0. That alone is a huge difference for anyone moving from the coast. Texas takes it further with property tax relief too. They recently increased the homestead exemption to $100,000, and for seniors or disabled homeowners, that benefit is even stronger. Some of our suburbs are actually working to lower their local rates as the values rise. While other major metros keep raising taxes just to stay afloat, North Texas is doing the opposite. Over time, that difference adds up to real money that helps families build long-term wealth. Speaking of wealth, this leads us to the final way that this area stands apart. You might assume that wealth is concentrated in one tiny downtown core like most U.S. cities, but the distribution here looks completely different. In our major cities, wealth gets squeezed into one elite zip code. That creates huge gaps in affordability. If one industry takes a hit, the whole city feels it. North Fort Worth does the opposite. Here, the money is distributed across multiple suburbs, each with its own identity. You have South Lake, Westlake, Colleyville, Trophy Club, Keller, Roanoke. All these areas have high incomes and strong home values. When you spread wealth across a region instead of stuffing it into one little area, you get stability. Opportunity isn't tied to a single neighborhood or industry. You don't have to live in one specific overpriced zip code to get access to good schools and strong home values. The entire region gives people room to move up. Almost no other major metro in the country can say that. The thing everyone misses about this area is that every other major city optimizes for efficiency at the expense of livability. New York packs people in tight. LA sprawls without planning. North Fort Worth is doing the opposite once again. We optimize for growth that makes life better, not just bigger. More people, better schools, more companies, lower taxes, and steady building that keeps prices stable. It's the only place in America where growth actually improves your quality of life instead of destroying it. I've lived in this area for almost 50 years. I've watched this transformation happen in real time. The most surprising thing to me isn't the growth, it's that the suburbs my clients moved to 5 years ago are better now than when they bought. New parks, upgraded schools, and better infrastructure. If you're serious about making this move and you want help finding the right suburb that actually fits your budget and long-term goals, reach out. All my contact information is in the description. We'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you and your family. We've helped thousands of families relocate here as the #1 relocation team in the area. Don't wait till everyone else figures this out. Now that I've shown you why we're winning, you might wonder what it's actually like to live here day to day. I've got my honest thoughts after almost 50 years, the stuff I love and the stuff that drives me crazy. Watch this next video for the unfiltered truth about living in North Fort Worth.